5 seconds remaining.
Good evening, welcome back. Second game, third game is gonna come up real soon. I say third game because there was one default win for Power Rangers as they came from the winners bracket in, of course, the Yardwide Festival, which is what you are watching. Grand Finals, best of 5, Power Rangers versus Relax. You are doing fine, and now the score is tied 1-1. We're gonna see which team will pull ahead. But regardless of the result of this game, we're gonna have another one after this one, and it's good because these two teams seem to be very well matched today, even though if you would look at the bets that various sites have, you would not say that. Of course, I'm not alone. I'm joined once again by G Advance. Welcome back.
I'm so sad Ember Spirit's banned again. I really want to see that hero.
Actually, the reason why Relax probably banned it out this time, it was, I guess, Power Rangers banned it out in the previous game, but Cheshire Cat actually played it against Cloud9 a couple of days ago, and that was one of the games.
Cheshire Cat really play?
Yeah. It was one of the games that they won in that series. The game that they won. So I understand why
he's their offlaner.
I know.
He's their offlaner.
I know.
Did they go aggressive tri-lane with it?
I think so. Oh, no, I think they went aggressive tri-lane and put Ember on the safe lane solo or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I did not see
sense.
the game, so I don't know.
Either way, I mean, it just makes me sad because it's the most ridiculous hero to watch. He's like ultra mobile. He looks cool as well. He's got great art.
Yeah. I think I agree with the ban. I'm not sure about the hero just yet, but it's a strong hero, and I think a lot of people just don't exactly have figured out yet how to deal with it, how to play against it. I like the Dazzle ban for Power Rangers. I mean, did have a big impact in the previous game. All those Graves at the right times, and banning him out, it just shows like no more minus armor shot, I think, from Relax. You're doing fine. As they pick up a Venomancer this time, so that's the hero that Power Rangers picked up in their first 2 heroes in the previous game.
Yeah, Power Rangers are actually banning very smart against the side of Relax, particularly to the side of Relax. AA has been their most picked up hero recently. For both these teams, actually, it's been one of the most picked up heroes. But whenever it's not banned, Relax will take it. And the Dazzle being taken out as well means they can't go for that ultra diving strat as well. Although that said, Relax, they pick up a Clockwork second, so they could keep on diving, and well, fairly standard stuff for both teams at the start here. I mean, there's nothing surprising given it coming out, apart from maybe the early Nyx Assassin pick, but if a team particularly values the hero, then I see nothing wrong with picking up that early.
I'm just surprised to see Power Rangers completely ditching on their Vengeful Spirit early pickup. I mean, yeah, Nyx Assassin and Luna, strong heroes, nice and all that, and Moon definitely is a great Luna, and Luna overall is a strong hero, but they had such success against this particular team when playing that lineup, that it's just surprising that they are actually, I don't know, completely ignoring it at the moment. And this time, Vengeful Spirit didn't even get banned yet. It could, of course, still happen if Relax does it in this go. I mean, we have the Slardar removed again, so another minus armor hero removed, as well as actually a Life Stealer. I like the Clockwork pickup by Relax. I mean, we have seen Shashlo play the Clockwork. He's a very scary Clockwork to be going up against, so we'll see how Power Rangers deal with that one. It just looks a bit cookie cutter from both teams. Normally, I don't know, normally these two teams have got some interesting drafts and aggression drafts going on, and not this game yet.
Relax still have the potential to. Power Rangers, the thing is, right, is Power Rangers have been known particularly for being A, a highly aggressive team, and B, a purely giant killer that loses versus teams that are potentially on what you would say is its own level, right? They're fantastic versus, for instance, Na'vi in Alliance. Yeah. Those are the 2 teams they actually perform best against, right? Mm-hmm. So this tournament, they've come through the winners bracket. They won pretty much all their games. They've actually been very solid and reliable. It seems like potentially Power Rangers are changing things up a bit with how they want to play things, maybe not being as aggressive in games like this, where reliability is going to be more important than your potential to sort of throw off the enemy team's game plan, because Relax's game plan is exactly the same as Power Rangers' traditional game plan, which is fight a lot, kill everybody, all the time. Yeah. That's what they do, right?
Basically,
so,
yeah.
Disruptor, Luna, both of these relatively good, occasional heroes. You want to use them when all their spells are up. You don't want to just be constantly running at the enemy team. Relax, on the other hand, they have heroes with fairly low cooldowns. Even Clockwork doesn't mind going into a fight without hookshot up. So, and the same goes for Gyro and Earthshaker. Like, all these heroes can fight whenever, whereas Power Rangers, Luna, for instance, always only wants to fight when she has her ult up.
Yeah, it's very mature from Power Rangers. I think I can call it that. I mean, obviously, we've seen Power Rangers a lot over the last year, I should say, in Star Ladder, and we've seen them constantly growing and you know, been advocates of Power Rangers strong team, and now they are in a lot of high tier tournaments as well, and it just seems to mature them a bit. However, looks like
less
offline Nick
maturity,
Assassin,
more Witch Doctor.
More Witch Doctor, which is actually, as I mentioned in the previous game, one of the heroes that they used a lot in almost every lineup that they had the Vengeful Spirit carry. They also had the Witch Doctor in there, so maybe still an aggressive lane going on there. I'm not too convinced how that works with the Disruptor. However, I just come to mind that they used, when they used the Ancient Apparition in the Witch Doctor, they didn't really mind about, like okay, Chilling Touch is nice, but they most of all used the Cold Feet in combination with the Maledict. And I think that the Thunderstrike is also going to be very strong in combination with the Maledict.
You know what's even scarier? Is how those two heroes go late game, or even mid game, right? Imagine the enemy teams, either their BKBs are not up, or they don't have BKBs. They get caught in Disruptor ult, they get caught in Kinetic Field, and then Witch Doctor starts dancing around, throws down the ward. The amount of damage that those two can do in between them in an area is enough to kill off anybody. In fact, it's enough to kill off probably the whole team. So those two heroes together, they have the potential to just absolutely destroy on their own. However, they are pretty unreliable.
Yeah, and normally, well, I was actually going to expect to see a natural BKB builder picked up for that very fact that you just mentioned. Gyrocopter, of course, already a natural BKB builder. Viper, though, not so much, but this is more looking like lane dominance in terms of the middle lane. Storm Spirit will be the one for Power Rangers to be on the middle lane against that Viper, most likely, as we're gonna, I think, see just standard lanes coming out from the teams here. I'm not really expecting an aggressive trial from Power Rangers. It could happen. But, I mean, Venomancer, Earthshaker, Gyrocopter lane, Tri lane, Clockwork off lane, Viper mid, and Power Rangers also pretty straightforward with the Nyx Assassin off lane, Tri lane with the Luna and Storm mid. It looks very cookie cutter again. I'm curious to see how they are going to try to get their aggression up for Power Rangers most of all in the early game. However, both Witch Doctor and Disruptor are, of course, heroes that need levels, and either you have to win your aggressive Tri lane, or you have to take control over your entire jungle and pull and stack and pull and stack from the neutrals a bit with those two heroes, which they can actually do okay-ish. But then they have to accept the fact that Clockwork is going to get a lot on the lane.
Yeah, I think the Viper pickup for Relax was actually a very sensible pickup. Whilst a BKB carrier, like say a DK, would be potentially more reliable, PR actually can't gank this Viper. They have a Witch Doctor who's hilariously bad at ganking solo heroes. He stuns them for, 1 second. He can stun for 1 second, do all of like 75 damage, and then suddenly doesn't have anything else. So the way PR are forced to lane this now that the Storm Spirit is going to have to go up against a Viper in the middle lane, is they're actually going up at the Roche.
The last time they said that,
about it.
the last time that Relax and Power Rangers face each other, because I mentioned those games on Monday. One of those was actually a level 1 Roshan for Power Rangers, and they kept like they were just chatting in Russian something, so I didn't really know what they were saying, but they were just chatting a bit. And then at some point Roshan was down, and Dredd said, "Oh my god, you distracted us from thinking about the game," and you know there was a bit of banter going on because of that.
I saw that one.
Yeah, they have to check. Oh, Dredd might have just really overstepped his boundaries there. In comes the cask, actually on 2, Kinetic Field on 2 as well, but the Fisher comes out still. And Shackle is getting in range of J4. It's the Rocket Barrage that is the most dangerous one here, though, and it goes in FNG. The Cogs as well. FNG will be our first hero to go down. Take a while to take the first blood, as Venomancer still gets picked up by the Luna from the side. Another Kinetic Field locking in 2 again, and this time Gyrocopter will actually be the one to fall with Moon again. A kill for him, a double kill for him, actually, leaving this pit at 2 for 1, this fight in favor of Power Rangers in terms of kill. However, first blood did go the way of the Viper mid, solo mid.
Cheshire Cat knows his stuff.
CIS Dodo, best Dodo.
It's so like you almost don't want to say it, right? Because you're like, oh, I feel like bad being like, oh, this is just what the CIS players do. They just randomly attack each other, but they really do. They really do play stupidly aggressive. I mean, no team actually could have level 1 Roshan then. It would have been so difficult for either of them to, but it's like they're like taunting each other over it.
Yep.
And they're going to go into an aggressive tri lane after that. Relax, they did get the first blood. Did they get it on... Actually, who got it? Was it the Clockwork?
Tamar Wild, Viper.
Tamar Wild actually got it, which is kind of surprising, but I mean, I guess, you know, he does more damage when people get lower on health, but I swear, I thought the Gyro was going to get the first blood, so overall, I'd put this actually very in favor of PR, because this try versus try now, the difference that they're getting as far as that double kill on Luna is huge. She's like already got Basilius and Boots, and nobody else is going to have anywhere near that much on the side of Relax.
Well, Timo Wild has got an Aquila, and he has Boots if he wants to, but yeah, he's mid, so it doesn't really matter. Scandal is there for, I mean, Scandal's not going to have a good time here mid, but bottom lane,
I mean,
yeah,
Scandal was screwed anyway.
Yeah, true,
Scandal
against
was
the Viper.
screwed. He's going up against a Viper as a Storm Spirit, and he has supports who can't leave the lane.
Oh, never mind. Fisher MVP, that's the power of the Fisher. Very defensive supporter, Shaker is. It's very mana intensive, and he just used his last clarity, but... I mean, Yoki got attacked, in comes Fisher, everything stops, everything is over.
Yeah, Earthshaker's great for, you know, just occasionally being useful. Like, he can run in, secure a kill, or secure somebody living. It makes a huge difference, but then he can't do it again for another 30 seconds, basically, because he needs more mana. He basically needs to get the full use out of the clarity. And Yoki? No, okay. I thought J4 might be higher level then. If he did, he'd have Glimpse, but they're just harassing him down.
Yeah, we almost also had FNG going for the Venomancer around here, but for now they'll just farm the camp and make sure that there's nothing left for Relax to pull and stack with. As the Sentry Ward is actually scouting out the Observer Ward, but it's not really like he hasn't found it yet, which is quite surprising because it's not really standing in the trees at all. Is it? No.
It's slightly hidden from view. You actually have to approach sort of from this side. You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it here.
You see the health bar, don't you?
Until you see the base of the unit. Until you actually see like the base of the unit, you don't.
Oh. Cool.
You don't see like the side of somebody.
It's the caster privilege. Oh, Dread just cleared. Dread just helped FNG create a path through the trees here, and in he comes. Dread. Might be going for Fisher, indeed he does, but Yoki already with the Maledict and the Thunderstrike. This Maledict should be enough to take Yoki down. And that is the power of that combination right there. The Maledict Thunderstrike, it is just super strong.
Yeah, the amount of damage that they can do over time with that is fantastic in this tri-lane. The damage that the side of PR actually have in this tri-lane is very, very high. Even Thunderstrike is actually a well above average nuke.
Yoki teleport back to bottom, and in comes the Glimpse, and down is Yoki, or at least back to the fountain he is. As nice Fisher to stop the initiation on the Venomancer, but without the Gyrocopter, with Gyrocopter having to walk all the way here, he is so far behind the Luna right now, it's unreal. Yeah,
definitely struggling on this Gyrocopter here. Not only has he got way worse base damage than anybody else in this lane, even the Witch Doctor. Famously, one of the support heroes with stupidly high base damage is going to be outlast hitting him. The Disruptor is going to be outlast hitting him, especially with the Lunar Aura there.
Yeah.
So he's going to struggle to get farm in this lane. They basically have to kill the enemy lane, and then he'll farm. Like, for all of 30 seconds before the side of PR TP back in.
And to be honest, for them to actually kill the enemy lane, they need someone else to help out. Be that Clockwork with a level 6 or a Viper that teleports in to help out. But right now, they can't do that by themselves. They're just not farmed enough for it. I mean, Luna is level 4. We still have Yoki at level 3. The level difference is not that big, actually, considering as we do have a rotation coming out on the mid lane. We have Scandal with an Invis Rune showing up behind Timo Wild. If there is a Vortex, yes, there is. In comes FNG, ready to take the kill with this Maledict by the looks of it. Let's see if he can get it. Scandal still taking quite a beating here. We'll actually die with the... No, bottle. Jesus, that was so close.
He would have lived anyway, but that was very close.
That's not lethal, fair enough. But it's still, I mean, one hit could have done the trick there. But yeah, good rotation from FNG. Viper, his advantages. I mean, he's going for a fast mechanism for his team. Was still able to buy the headrest before he died, I believe. So, you know, he's still not doing bad, but shut him down and you shut everybody of Relax down because they need that Viper to do well.
Yeah, they absolutely need this Viper to shut down the Storm Spirit, especially because this aggressive tri-lane is crushing their supports.
The Fisher coming out to help Yoki out. Is it enough? Looks like it might be. Lucent Beam, one more hit needed. In comes the Disruptor, last hit, it gets it as well. Kinetic Field now as J4 is in some trouble. In comes a hookshot from Shackle, goes on Moon. Looks like both Moon and J4 are about to drop. One down. And that is going to be a second down, being chased down by the Venomancer Ward, slowing him down. Another Fisher will do the job. And that is going to be a dual lane wiped out, because of course FNG was no longer here. But they still get the Gyrocopter, and Gyrocopter was not here to share the experience and gold.
Yeah, Gyrocopter doesn't get anything for it. They have to rely pretty much entirely on Shacklo now. Now, Shacklo, he's a great hero, especially for killing people off at this stage.
Tamo Wild in some trouble again. We already have the Viper Strike up on Scandal though, but Tamo Wild, he's gonna die. That curse is gonna take him down. Looks like Scandal is gonna live through it all as well. It's Tamo Wild indeed. The curse will take him down. Scandal is gonna be okay. That's the second time in a small period of time that they take down that Viper. And again, they can't afford to have that Viper ganked. I would say rotate some of the supports. And one of the things that right now that you can tell Relaxed is not doing well, they still have a walking courier. It's almost 7 minutes into the game.
That's true, and they absolutely have no other choice. They don't have enough cash to.
But yeah.
The Earthshaker, I mean, the Earthshaker could do it right now, but...
Oh,
I mean,
another glimpse by Viper. So annoying.
Oh, this is so difficult for them to deal with at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many different reasons why they're losing gold and they're losing XP over the side of Relax. The Disruptor just adds to that, you know, it just adds to the fury that this is probably producing in Relax. Another part of this is that the Viper, he's so close to killing Scandal every time the kill comes in, because they're ganking him with a Witch Doctor, who is an awful, awful ganking support, but it's just about working, and that means that every time that Viper, he's spending a long time going into these fights and actually basically taking these ganks head on.
Dread, you're so dead. Very, very dead. 4-man smoke, I guess. I mean, finding a Nurse Shaker. Yeah. Fighting Nurse Shaker is probably not the worst thing in the world for Relax. I mean, if there is going to be a 4-man smoke and you will lose someone, better be it a support than Yoki on his Gyrocopter again. But it is just... I mean, he can't catch a break. Relax cannot catch a break. And they need a break right now. They need something. Shacklo is back towards his lane. I mean, the first time he rotated, he helped get his team 2 kills, right? So he was doing really well. But he needs to be continuing to do well, because the moment that he starts rotating without getting anything in return, his team will lose overall. And he knows that. So he knows that he should probably continue farming rather than trying to go for kills that he's not sure that he can get.
I think... I'm not sure about that. I think he has 5 or 6 minutes left, where he still has the potential to kill pretty much anybody but the Storm Spirit. So, given how bad the situation already is for Relax, because they're getting absolutely dominated at this point, I think Shacklo kind of has to rotate. It's not ideal. You know, he really would prefer to be farming in a game like this where there's so many heroes who can deal with him. In fact, even if the Disruptor's around, they can stop him getting a kill, because they just glimpse the Clockwork as soon as he's hookshot, and suddenly he's wasted hookshot. But he has to go and get these kills. There's no other real choice for them. Looks like they're going for the bottom lane here, but support's coming in from PR. Yeah,
it will be a 3-on-3 by the looks of it. Yoki already in a lot of trouble. The Maledict is already on the hookshot. Actually gets Shacklo while sitting in his Vendetta. He will still get picked up, though. He should be able to get picked up here. Or maybe Dread is the one to go, and Cheshire Cat lives. Shacklo, of course, I mean, as you said, got glimpsed back, and Yoki was already dead when the Maledict hit him, because the damage coming out from these players of Power Rangers is just too much to deal with. And he's actually got his Maledict up to level 3. And, I mean, it was a good idea from Relax, to be honest. It was the thing that they should be doing, but Power Rangers anticipated on it and had backup enough, because they had the same idea of picking up the Gyrocopter again, as Venomancer actually dies here on the top lane, giving another kill to Moon, who is now 2. And is going for his Helm of the Dominator, his first item by the looks of it.
Yeah, this is a smart choice for him. He knows that if he goes BKB, he doesn't particularly need it. The only one who can actually get on top of him this game and cause him to use a BKB is the Clockwork, and if J4's around, he can glimpse him back. So he doesn't need BKB for a while. He can actually just afford to farm up, especially because the gyrocopter's so far behind, and he's no longer needed to shut down this gyrocopter. The rest of the team can do that. I mean, look at what the gyro's doing right now. He's jungling a small camp. He's farming a small camp when there's a free... He doesn't even realize this, but the only one in his lane is FNG. That's it. A Witch Doctor in a 1v1 position, and Yoki is afraid.
I don't blame him.
He's not going to farm.
There's a lot of people...
So this Luna's just going to out-carry him.
Yeah, oh, that's for sure. We have got Dread in a lot of trouble. He still wants to go for something. We still have a Fisher up. We'll go for Moon. In comes the hookshot from Shaklo. Disruptor is around there. His glimpse, though, is already used. Now in comes FNG. Teleported out, and he already has the Maledict up on Shaklo. Looks like the damage done is close to being enough to take him down, especially if Cheshire comes in to help take the kill, and yeah, he gets a double kill. Glim is back from Viper as he gets sent back with a lot of damage being done to him. I think they just saved his life, basically, with that glimpse. But that is...
Luna popped ulti.
Yeah.
Luna eclipsed him, and they were like, no, you're not having this one.
No. But Cheshire Cat comes in with a haste rune. Vendetta's on their shaker. Gets an impale from Clockwork. Gets a double kill. Down goes a tower, which is actually the first tower of the game, 12 minutes into the game. But it's just... Power Rangers is so dominant in this game. They completely got back up on their feet after previous game, that's for sure. Oh,
yeah, and I think a big part of it is the laning stage.
Yoki, run, dude. It looks like he's running.
Oh.
He's got phase as well, which will help him. Oh, no, Vision! Glimpse is still there. In comes the Venomancer trying to save his life. The cooldown comes down as well, and perhaps he can turn this around. It looks like he might be able to. No, not completely. J4 still gets the kill, as the rest of his team will get some revenge. But at least he got one kill. I mean, he died. Fair enough, but he dies all the time, so I guess that's not that special anymore. But he gets a kill in return, which is... You know, more than you could say from other times that he died.
He died anyway, that's not that special anymore. That's an amazing line.
Well, he's died 5 times by now, and yeah, he's been shut down, so, you know, it's...
Yeah, he's completely shut down at this point. He's gonna go like Phase Boots, Drum, BKB. He's not gonna get any farming items or anything like that. He's just gonna fight, because anything else he does is pointless at this stage. Gyrocopter's a pretty good hero for... You know, just working on his spells. I mean, the hero used to be regarded as a support a long time ago, so at the very least he has good spells for killing people. The problem is his transition. I mean, if you look at the net worth right now, it's a very sorry story for him. He's below J4.
Yeah. And J4 still also died in that engagement, as he is actually going for the mechanism for his team. By the way, remember that Viper that was doing so well early on in this game? He still doesn't have his mechanism done.
He's struggling pretty damn badly here, and that was because those ganks that were so close. The Witch Doctor ganks on him on the middle lane with the Storm Spirit, every single time it happened, he was so close to actually killing off the Storm Spirit, but he didn't. And because of that, he wasted a lot of time in what was a very long duration fight.
Clockwork in some trouble. The Maledict will be enough to take him down. The Vortex actually used on him as well. Maybe a slightly overkill, as Scandal actually gets a Viper Strike on him, forced to back up from this fight. Tame Wild still stunned up by the Spike Carapace. Looks like he's going to be making it out alive though, and in comes Dread with an Echo Slam. The cooldown was already used on 3. FNG tries to make himself out of that, but it can't. The kill from Yoki goes his way, and J4 will go down as well. Nicely flat cannoned that gyrocopter for the... Wow, English is hard. Good flat cannon for Yoki. There we go.
Yeah, smart play by the side of Relax then, actually using all their teamfight ultis together like that. They actually have a lot of teamfight control. The gyrocopter with the cooldown actually slows everyone down, and that allowed Earthshaker to come in and get a good Echo Slam off. So they are still able to win against PR, but the problem is PR is still going to massively outfarm them.
Just teleported into death. That's going to be one Witch Doctor kill going the way of Timo Wild. And with the tower kill, they actually gain so much space back on this map, gain so much more control back. Maybe Shakalo is still going to get picked up. It's the one that it all started with. In comes Scandal. Again, zips into the far back of the fight to take down Yoki. He gets a kill as well. In comes the rest of the team to try and take revenge though, and Scandal, because of his long zip, is close to being out of mana. Will still get picked off by Viper, but in comes the Eclipse of Moon. Impale upon 2, down goes Viper, Venomance and Earthshaker. It's a complete team wipe. That is a Relax, sticking around too long. They might have still gotten the tower, but that price was way too high.
That was very, very smartly played from Scandal then. He actually purposely wasted most of his mana to jump on the very back person in the fight, pick off a kill. He threw his life away. He knew he was going to die as soon as he used up most of his mana pool and he's right next to a Viper. You're dead. There's no way you're getting out of that. And then actually running up to the high ground, where they know that the side of Relax, they didn't have their vision there at the time. Actually, no, they did have vision up there. There's a ward by Relax up there. So the side of Relax, they continue to go for the Storm Spirit, even though they saw the Luna and the Disruptor coming in, who both had 2 huge teamfight ults, and, well, the rest is history. This Luna is going to be crazy farmed, by the way. She's already got a Yasha as well. She's going to be huge by the end of this game, and nobody is going to be able to out-carry her. Nobody here... Gyrocopter already struggles late 1v1 versus this hero, and Storm Spirit actually going crazy.
Yeah, he had some backup of FNG, but looks like he went for a solo kill. Yoki, though, makes it out alive with the hookshot coming in. Oh, overextension is thy name. FNG might be in a slightly tough spot as well, as Viper came in from the high ground. He'll try to hide, but it doesn't look like he can. No teleport out from him either. He doesn't even have a scroll anymore. And 2 kills for 1 overall. Power Rangers, I thought, like, nice pickup on Venomancer, but they give a lot away for it as well. Too much.
Yeah, and unnecessary to go for the Gyrocopter as well, because as we've seen, this Gyrocopter has been struggling already. He's actually now managed to pick up an Ogre Club. He'll be working on... He'll get his BKB soon. This is actually a huge pickup for them, and the first death on the Storm Spirit, not as much of a big deal. This second death, though, huge, because now that they've got some extra space on the map, look how the side of Relax is actually playing. They're spread out again. That's not something they were doing earlier. Now they're very much spread out around the map, and PR is on their own side of the river. They're afraid again, and that's something that's worrying. I'd still say things are very much in their favor, though, because nobody can stop the Luna. She's going to farm ridiculously large amounts. And she's not even bothering to turn up to the fights. She doesn't need to.
Oh, we're gonna have Power Rangers go for a wraparound gank, though, as they will find the Venomancer first, which will kind of be actually a good thing for Relax, as they now make sure, like, they now know what they're up against. The wraparound gank only got a support in the end, while it could have ended way worse. Galim's back on Shuckle, still gets the cogs up for FNG, though, who still puts up a death ward. Kinetic field setting storm. Oh, Yoki and Dread are so dead. I just said that it was good that Venomancer scouted them out so that they would actually have a chance to maybe back off, but they do not use that opportunity, and they lose 4 heroes in total for nothing whatsoever. That was an interesting decision to still go back in.
Yeah, and this is how rich the side of PR right now are. Cheshire Cat has a freaking Midas and a Force Staff.
Yeah, oh, he had that Midas for a while, I think.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's a crazy pickup, but in a game like this where you have so much money, it's not going to matter, because he's going to get the money for any other core items he actually needs up very, very quick. And in that last fight, we saw exactly that combo I talked about. Witch Doctor and Disruptor, between them, they can kill off entire teams, and they did that. They soloed 3 people. Scandal was kind of there, but the damage he did was nowhere near as high as the other 2 did. And Scandal finally, sensibly, decided to go for a kill without using up all his mana. That was a big difference for me in that fight, because that meant the Clockwork couldn't go on him, and that would have been the natural person they wanted to pick off. Instead, they went on the Witch Doctor. It wasn't a particularly good target. He was past both of the other 2 heroes. They just glimpsed the Clockwork back. Scandal can keep on fighting. The other 2 dropped down both their ultis, and the cogs actually worked defensively for the Witch Doctor then.
I agree.
They were like armor around him. He's in a little bunker with his machine gun.
And you mentioned earlier that Relax was spreading out a bit to take all the farm on the map. It looks like it's back to what it was. Relax is grouping up again. They actually smoked up to try and take down Moon, but the hookshot missed. Perhaps they can still get him, though. But the Fisher is actually blocking them from going on the high ground. They don't want to try it anymore. So their smoke gank, their 5-man smoke gank, failed unless Tamewild and Yoki can make something happen. They're still close by. Cheshire Cat J4 will be targets, but a kinetic field will stop them from going in. And this could actually turn into Power Rangers going into them, as the only one that they are lacking is the Storm Spirit, who can, of course, teleport home whenever he wants to.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, this is actually potentially a very bad fight for the side of Relax. They have to hope that the side of PR group up, and right now they're positioned brilliantly.
There's also an Orchid ready for the Storm. Courier is on his way right now to bring him the item. And, I mean, that's pretty damn scary as well. There's no BKB yet. I mean, obviously we knew that Yoki didn't have any farm, and Team Wild only has a mechanism. So there's really not any items on the side of Power Rangers, so they fight with their spells, you can then say. And if someone's silenced, well, you're just gonna miss 20% of your team fight. Almost. Oh, Team Wild. Nah, he's okay. Burst damage, it's not enough. The glimpse is actually, the glimpse might just make it enough. In comes the Eclipse as well. Yeah, Team Wild will die from that curse. The Eclipse will not pick up the Venomancer. Nice slow coming out from the Veno still, but the Veno, yeah, he'll still die. Storm Spirit actually with a kill, zipped himself in, put himself on the enemy lines, got a Poison Nova in his face as well, but it was just for him. 2-0, Power Rangers once again want to fight, and this fight, I guess, like, Relax, they were sieging a tower. They do not have the items to actually be comfortable enough to go for a 5-man siege and think that Power Rangers won't do anything against them. They obviously have the better farm. They are 10k gold ahead. They are 15k experience ahead, which is probably the bigger one in this one. As our Veno and our Clockwork, or their Veno and their Clockwork, don't have level 11 yet, which is a pretty big deal as well.
Yeah, and even worse than the fact that they can't even go in and take the tower is that they can't get out. Because they have a Disruptor on the side of PR. The best hero for dealing... Well, they have a Disruptor and a Storm Spirit. Two of the best heroes for getting people as they try to escape from a bad situation. You know, if you try to escape from a bad fight, you get glimpsed back. If you go separated from the rest of your team, you're going to get jumped on by a Storm Spirit and very quickly killed off. With an Orchid as well on him, like you said, there's no BKBs. Nobody here even really has a high enough HP pool to survive other than the Viper. The Viper's the only one that they can't focus down, and that's why they decided to glimpse him in that fight. They glimpsed him back in, put him in a kinetic field, and it was very smart by the Witch Doctor as well. They knew exactly what they were doing, because he went in before the Disruptor actually had to do anything. He instantly just used Death Ward, because he knows that's all they need to kill.
Death Trap top lane. Tame Wild will be the target first. Impale coming out as well as Static Storm. Vortex. Tame Wild has got no place to go. And the rest tries to run. Well, with the rest, I mean Shaklo. He was the only one left there. He was actually allowed to run, I think, because they just used everything on that Viper. But Shaklo will be able to run away from that one. I mean, there's only one tower down on the side of Power Rangers so far. Only that tier 1 middle. This game is getting a bit out of hand for Relax. I'm not sure how they can get back into this, apart from if Gyrocopter gets some amazing farm all of a sudden, which is not very likely because they even haven't stacked up Ancients for him, as we actually have FNG maybe in some trouble. He did already kill off the Venomancer. One more tick from the poison will do that, but he will go down for it himself. Dread getting glimpsed back into the kinetic field himself as well, with the Veneta coming out. 2 kills for 1, still worth it for FNG for sure.
Yeah, absolutely worth it for FNG. He's on a Witch Doctor as well. It's not a hero that needs particularly large amounts of items. Both their supports actually are very item independent, and that's another struggle that the side of Relax have, because eventually they are going to need a Blink Dagger on this Earthshaker, and it is not forthcoming. He does have a 1k gold, but he also just died, so...
Yep.
And he'll probably die again if he gets anywhere near the side of PR, because their initiation range is very, very large with the Storm Spirit. And if you overextend, even if your team is with you, at some point, if you back off, the Disruptor is going to put you right back in the middle of there. You're going to get killed off. So.
And then the problem comes for map control, because yes, Earthshaker needs the Blink Dagger, but we also have Clockwork that wants to have farm, who basically, with the gold that he had, I thought he was going to go for a 4-star, but he actually just picked up his Hand of Midas. That's a 24-minute Hand of Midas. That's really aiming for a 40-50 minute game-ish. And, like, you have a Viper that needs farm, your Gyrocopter needs farm, your Clockwork, your Earthshaker, everybody needs farm. And their map control is just not that big. They have, of course, got the tier 1 tower middle still, which is great for them, as Cheshire Cat's looking for a pick-off again. He has actually picked up a Blink Dagger since last time. And he ditched his Hand of Midas.
Apparently he just doesn't need it anymore. I mean, he's already level 16, and a big part of him picking it up is for levels rather than items, because items on Nyx Assassin, relatively irrelevant.
He's going for
they
Dagon.
actually don't mean very much.
Ooh.
He might go for a Dagon.
Hookshot misses. Tamar Wild Looking for a kill on J4. Looks like he might be able to get it as well. In comes a cooldown as well. Moon, though, still is forcing Tame About out. Venomancer gets a nice ulti off, will still die, and it is gonna be a tower defended by the looks of it. If they get Moon as well, they get at least the Aegis. Another Fisher comes out, but now in comes Scandal with the Vortex up on Yoki. The damage is there, the kill is there as well. J4 is the dominating one right now. Galim's back on the Earthshaker, getting picked off as well. Moon dominating. Tame Out down. Team wipe coming out here in favor of Power Rangers, and that is enough for Relax to call it quits. They don't want to do this anymore. 25-minute game here. Power Rangers will make it 2-1 in their favor. Of course, though, this is not a best of 3, it's a best of 5. So they'll still have to prove themselves once more if they want to end this tournament in the next game. For Relax, of course, they want to force out the 5th game. I have to say, it was strong play from Power Rangers. Relax just got shut down too much. How much impact do you think that level 1 fight had on the game? Like, did that completely decide the game?
That level 1 fight had a huge impact, because a big issue was that the Gyro was then never able to secure farm in the lane. He didn't get any farm in the lane, and one of the things with Gyrocopter is that, unlike a lot of carries, he has a very sort of set farm rate, because he's only going to be using Flat Cannon occasionally. If you don't get a Helm with a Dominator, his farm rate is... the maximum farm rate he can actually get is relatively low. He can farm pretty okay, but the difference is that you get like an early BKB, and you get some farm, but you kill a lot. If you're not able to do either of those things, Gyrocopter becomes a very wasted hero, and I mean, look at his items. He's got Phase Boots and a BKB. He has no damage, and only the very barest minimum of survivability. You know, a BKB is not going to cut it versus a Death Ward from a Witch Doctor in this game.
No. It was too much. The advantages that Power Rangers had, too much to deal with. Relax is going to have another chance, though. They're going to be having a 3rd game coming up. Well, I say 3rd, it's actually the 4th, as there was a 1-game winners bracket advantage for Power Rangers. We're going to go to that 4th game in a couple of minutes' time, so stick around, because I don't think you want to miss these two teams go at each other, because it's been a very enjoyable run so far, and I don't think they're planning on stopping that one. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.